One of the most beautiful things about doing this every single day with you for like 5 hours a day is we have the opportunity to right our wrongs more than basically anyone else in the content world. That's just the reality of posting this frequently and having conversations very fluidly, very rapidly. Today was one of the all-timer. I can't believe this is happening while we just wrapped a different recording moments for me. Omer Mayer, who really struggled in game 2 for Team Israel at the FIBA U19 event, just put on a clinic. And we were watching this play out, knowing that we were going to post our game 2 reaction roughly while this game was going on. So we didn't want anything we said to become overly out of date. And you can go back and listen to that conversation if you want to hear our full thoughts about how he struggled and what it looked like and what it means. I stand by most of what was said in that video. But good Lord, none of what we said in that video applied to Omer Meyer's performance today in game 3. In the knockout stage against Cameroon, Omer Mayer just went for 33 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, only 1 turnover, boosting his averages for the event up to 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. I've been saying my mark for him in my rosy comparisons and even when I started getting skeptical, what I've been holding him up against the standard of is what did Kasparis Yakashonis and what did Yegor Demin do in like previous international competition type 2-week events. 24, 5, and 4 is as good as any of those guys. And that's what Omer is doing right now. But how he did it today, Cart, was different than we've seen him in any other version of Omer Mayer. We saw the Nike Hoop Summit where he had 10 assists, no look, going crazy. Game 1 of this event was a mix. Game 2, it was the struggles we talked about. Game 3 was a shot-making explosion. Talk to the people on what you saw.
So game one was so special that they fired up the train to 10 out of 10 speed as far as the hype train, right? Game three, you know what I'm saying? Pump it back a little bit. We're still moving. We're still going. We got to pump it back to like a, you know what I'm saying, a 4. Let's go to cruising altitude here. Uh, Bounce back performance, elite performance. Now it's all the way back up. Let's go ahead and keep it in 8 so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves here. But what he's done this tournament, the averages don't lie. And honestly, the main takeaway for this is just the bounce back of it. And as you're watching this game too, it's like Israel was struggling. Because honestly, with all due respect, outside of Omer, this team lacks a lot. And Cameroon was playing really well, and Israel was down. And Omer took over. Absolutely took over. I mean, there was a point where he had like 30 and their team only had 60 points total. There was only 2 other players that reached double figures, having 12 and 10 respectively. And he did absolutely everything. It was special. It was like step backs. It was do him like hold this. Like it was a total takeover mode in this game. And you combine that with the bounce back ability after having a rough performance, I think it says a lot about who this kid is and why Purdue fans should be excited.
Yeah, so we watched this game as we were recording this morning. I mean, we got the camera in front of us that we're recording on a desktop for me. I got a laptop in front of me where I'm constantly either looking up stuff or watching games in the background. Today it was used to watch these FIBA games. I had Team USA in one window, I had Israel in another window, had a couple games before this on too. And I I could just tell, like, for lack of a better way to describe this, early on in this game, Omer was playing with like a vibe to him that I think said 2 things probably simultaneously. Number one, okay, we're in the knockout stage now. Like there was like a sense of urgency to the way he approached this performance in the third game for Israel that wasn't fully there, I think, in game 2. But also the other element of that to me, why would he come out that way? Maybe I'm extrapolating a little too much, or maybe he came off a shitty performance and was pissed. That's
Yeah.
how he played today. And not all players play like that. Respectfully, there have been phenomenal basketball players throughout history in college and the NBA and everywhere that will put up a stinker and kind of just shrug it off and be like, yeah, those happen, whatever. We'll try again tomorrow. And then there's greats who like get genuinely pissed and lose sleep when they have a bad game. And I would bet genuinely, if you talk to Omer, I think he would tell you that his performance in their second game was like unacceptable and so below what he's capable of. And he came out in the first 2 minutes of this game setting the tone like he knew he was going to right his wrongs. And I love that. I totally enjoyed everything about this performance. You're right. The shot making was special. And it felt even, dare I say, like a little jimmery, like a little papa, like one dribble, two dribble, tween, step back. Like, I don't know. Like, what? I don't want to do comps. He's not a recruit. We don't need to do comps right now. But is it crazy to say there were shades of Jimmer Fredette in that third quarter shot making run?
He also kind of built like him, right? Like if Jimmer was made in like the legit factory, Omer was made at like wherever like DH. He's like DH gate Jimmer Fredette, just in his build. He looks like him, but it was like the shot making was Jimmer-esque, because he was making and taking shots. Because it's not getting twisted either. He was gunning for
Yeah.
good reason too. Like because he needs to gun on this team. 26 shots, efficient from both three and from the field and from the free throw line. When he got there, it was a special offensive performance, truly.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. And they're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. Well, and this performance is probably my favorite of his that we've seen because again, I keep mentioning the Nike Hoop Summit just because that game, did he even attempt a shot?
I think it was just all assist.
I think he literally didn't attempt a shot, and he had 10 awesome assists, and we were like, what is this? I thought they were getting a scorer, not a point guard. Um, how many players on the planet could have two different games that different from each other in how you approach the game? Like what he did today versus what he did back in that All-Star game? Like not many, right? There's not many guys who are like that good at passing and that good at scoring to be able to like just pick one day. And I thought this performance was my favorite that we've seen of him for this reason. Number one, it was the most fun. Like it's just more fun to watch dude do pa pa bang than it is to do the other stuff. But number two, I think this game most mimics how a best case scenario version of him will look at Purdue. Right? Now,
Hmm.
it probably won't just be like clear out, get out of the way, let me rock. But if all goes well for Purdue this year with Omer, he's giving them a scoring punch from the perimeter that just hasn't been there even in the Braden Smith era, right? We want him gunning. We want him to possibly lead Purdue's backcourt in shot attempts if all goes well. And he approached this game like a kill first scorers mentality that I hope translates to Purdue this season.
Yeah, and I think it will because I think it's going to be like, and that's to your point. I think even game to game, maybe even how the game's going, him having the ability to know what his team needs, I think can go a long way. Like maybe they need him to pass a little bit more this game. Maybe they need him, maybe Braden and Fletch are struggling to score the ball. It's like, all right, Omer, we need you to get in that one bag that you had and go score the basketball. I think that's a luxury for Purdue to have.
Yeah, 100%. So 33, 7 assists, 5 rebounds is what he ended up with today. Where does this stack rank other single game performances at like these international events from players or even international players? Like, yeah, I know you're, and again, this is Cameroon. I get it. We can do the competition level in a second too. But like, we've been talking about how Michael Brown's been sensational this event. I haven't seen 33, 7, and 5 from Michael in a game like this. I've been holding him up against Kasparis.
Hmm.
I don't remember seeing 33, 7, and 5 from Kasparis. I am
Hmm.
not trying to go back and make the same mistake I did on Monday. I just got off a video saying we need to slow down the hype train. But just honesty, have you seen a performance better than this at one of these international events that you can recall?
Yeah. I think the stuff that Michael has done in this event is just around similar to this. I think it would have looked the same too if, you know, he was in the same spot that Omer's in.
Like if you drop Michael with all of these Israeli teammates playing Cameroon, you think Michael would have 50 and 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Okay.
Also, as that game was going on, I had it split screen, and Tyron Stokes had was 3 steals away from a quadruple double.
That's pretty insane. Yeah.
Like actually 3 steals away from a quadruple double with 0 turnovers too.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Just glad he got off the bench. He was playing 3 minutes a game in the first three. So
Yeah, yeah. In a game that USA won 140 to 67 against Jordan.
against who?
Jordan,
You taking Jordan or Cameroon in a 7 game series?
Cameroon
Yeah,
4-0.
that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Um, the twist on this, not that there is a twist because there's literally not, but hey, I'm doing my due diligence as a host here. They were down 14 points in the third quarter to Cameroon.
Hmm.
Now, they came back and won because Omer Mayer dominated and
Yes,
stole that game back. But they were
yes.
down 14 points in the third quarter to Cameroon.
Yeah.
Does that damper this at all for you or no?
Not at all, because for lack of a more nuanced term outside of Omer, this Israel team stinks.
It's pretty true from watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty true.
like truthfully, they stink.
I like the oh, what's his name? Balaga. I like him. He was not good today, but he's been
Yeah.
good in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, he
All right.
stink.
Understood. I mean, if anything, like the point about the competition or just the fact that they were trailing by that much makes me like the way he led this comeback more. Because it wasn't just like, oh, it's a tie game and he started going crazy. Dog, it was like, we're about to go home. This tournament's about to end. We're down 14 with 14 minutes left. Get the hell out of my way. Let me cook.
I just saw Coben Landrew's comments about what campus is looking like. I ain't ready to go back yet. That- you know, I just saw Braden's story. He's in Chicago with Lance Jones. I'm really not trying to go back to campus. Like, let me
Oh,
cook.
that's good. In the end, is there a lesson for us in all of this? We're obviously just here to accurately, honestly, entertainingly so discuss what we see hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day. Sometimes that means one thing we said an hour ago becomes out of date very quickly. That's what happened today. But would you change anything about the way we've covered Omer through this process, or is there a lesson for us, big picture, in all of this?
No, I'll leave the lessons to other people for how they cover it. Because we're gonna cover it the way it is. He played basketball game. He stink in basketball game. We say he stunk in game. He plays well. We talk about how well he played, basing off how he played well, bouncing back in that game. If he stinks next game, I'll be there again. If he's good next game, I'll also be there again.
We will be there. That's the one thing we're
Yeah, we'll be there.
100% sure of.
We'll be there.
Omer had 33, 7, and 5. I repeat for the ninth time 33, 7, and 5. What would CJ Cox have had in this game?
This is hilarious. I
I
love
love
this.
this bit so
This
much. It's
bit,
funny.
this bit is funny. This bit is funny. How come Chicago Harris isn't playing for Mexico?
I don't know.
Oh, they're probably not in it either for what I'm looking at. CJ Cox would have, I think, 17, 5, and 5.
Okay. Not my answer, but okay.
What do you think you'd have?
26, 3, and 2.
So not what Omer had.
Not close to Omer. Yeah.
Okay, cool.